The reason that I wanted you on the show and what I wanted to talk about is because it's no secret that having Zoom podcasts, like doing this, it doesn't perform very well in the video world because we're not face to face. And oftentimes people have said, why don't you do an in-person? I'm based just outside of Los Angeles. So I'm in the film capital of the world. It would be very easy for me to have guests in this little studio or to do more in-person interviews. But the problem is I never wanted to limit myself and the people that I was talking to just the people who happen to be in my geographical area. That's the trouble. Like if somebody's got a great idea in China or Japan or Armenia or in Mexico City or Guadalajara, I want to be able to talk to that person. And, you know, it's not like, it's maybe not realistic for me to say, hey, you got to get on a flight and come join me here just for this stupid thing, you know?
Oh my God.
But one of the things, you know, we know these technological waves and we know, okay, these things are coming, AI is coming, it's going to revolutionize everything. But you represent an angle that few people are thinking about, which is diversification of markets and going into a different place. And as markets that we're in get more mature and more saturated, this is everything. YouTube was a huge opportunity in 2007, and now it's full of content. Same with podcasts, same with everything. We blast it, and then we just see, oh, TikTok has 1 billion creators. It's not the opportunity it was 6 years ago when there weren't so many creators. And people kind of get stuck and they get hit on that wall. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the real smartest people are taking their content and they're repurposing it for different markets. Like Mr. Beast, one of the most popular YouTube, or maybe the most popular YouTuber, he has another channel, Mr. Beast Espanol, where everything is dubbed into Spanish, right? That's a huge, like he can double his views by doing nothing else than translating his videos into other languages. Same with a lot of the SEO guys out there. It's like, oh, my blog has reached the max. I have 1 million in traffic for SEO in English. But what about in Japanese? What about in Spanish? What about in all these other languages of the world? That's a huge opportunity. So I love the idea that you took this thing that was maybe blown up here and you found it in Mexico. So talk to me. Where did you live before you moved to Guadalajara, and why did you physically move?
Oh man, this one's rough. I lived in 10 countries before I moved back. So I'm Mexican. I was born in Mexico. When I was 2.5 years old, I got yoinked. Just let's go, we're moving. Then the tour was El Salvador, Colombia. Came back for a little bit, went to the States, went to Cuba. This is all because of my dad's work. Like, it's not like I wasn't a very, adventurous 2-year-old. Like, I was just taken. Then I was in Mexico for a bit again, and then I flew out and I did Switzerland, Romania, Germany, the UK, and Indonesia before coming back, right?
So what was it like having an international spy as a father?
So... that would have been very cool. The Aston Martin was really cool. The ejector seats were just like it's so dangerous,
especially in Romania.
No, it was like, so what I realized is it does give you a lot of perspective of like how other people do things. And you're talking about geographic locations. I came back to Mexico 6-7 years ago. And the traffic was so bad, and I was like, why don't we have motorcycle taxis? What are we doing? And people are like, what's that? I'm like, it's like an Uber, but just a bike shows up, and they give you a little hairnet and a helmet. They never had the hairnets. They never did, but they were supposed to. You hop on the back, and it just drives you. You goes cut right through traffic. People are like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm like, yeah, and if I had, a couple $1 million, I would absolutely execute it. I don't, so... But I saw that in Indonesia, and it was just the easiest way to move around things. And it was like this sort of just opening the panorama to like, because it's not like I'm smarter for it. I just got to see what other people, how they solved the issue. And I just, like, my idea was just yoink it from them, right? Like, this is, a big part of human advancement is just yoinking. But,
for sure.
But I think just moving around does kind of give you like access to more ideas.